Hello, gorgeous. My name is Jessica Angileri. I'm a feminine embodiment and pleasure, intimacy, love coach. And today I wanted to speak about this topic that we see thrown around a lot, the feminine way. I love to speak about this topic, but today I wanted to speak to what does it really mean to take on, to embody this female feminine way. And like I said, we see this word thrown around a lot: divine feminine, feminine way, embody your divine feminine. And although I love that we are seeing a rise in this movement of the feminine, what I believe is that we still need to honor the reverence around the feminine and what that means. Otherwise, we see women, we find ourselves being confined into a small box of what the feminine needs to be, what the feminine needs to look like. So we still need to be careful about how we throw this word around and to really feel into. And that's the thing, the feminine is about feeling into. Feel into if this word, the feminine, and how it's being used is being used in a way that really rests in your heart and that feels good in your heart. As women, we often find ourselves trying to fit into these norms that society places on us and conforming to the expectations of those around us and trying to be everything to everyone, whether that's in a relationship, in your family life, in your business even, trying to be everything. And you know, I know we see a lot of this word, the feminine. There's just something not sitting right with me when we use it sometimes, because we lose sight. If we're trying to fit into these boxes of what the feminine looks like, of what it feels like, we lose sight of our authentic selves. And that's what the feminine way is really all about: embracing, embodying your authentic self, your truth. And of course, we can use feminine practices as a way to reconnect with that truth. Because the truth is, we have been disconnected from our bodies, and the body is the feminine way, is the experience of the feminine. And when we're disconnected from our bodies, we are disconnected from our desires, we are disconnected from pleasure, from our purpose, from our wisdom, from our intuition, and we end up doubting ourselves, and we listen to everyone else but ourselves. And with this, we start to become numb to the sensations of our body, numb to how our body actually speaks to us, because, as I said, the feminine is the body. It's the soma, it's the somatic experience. It's the experience of being and feeling and living from the space of the body. And what the feminine really desires, what she really, I feel she really thrives from, is being seen and heard. And not from the place of, look at me, I'm amazing, but more, I feel seen in my relationship. I feel heard in my relationship. I feel seen from myself. I see you. And through this really embrace of being seen and heard, this is where you start to feel loved. You start to feel nourished. And that little girl inside of you, remember her? She remembers what it means to love big. She remembers how to play, how to desire and dream big. She remembers how to fully immerse her body in pleasure, in the things that feel good. She knows how to hug big, and she remembers what she wanted and how she wanted to dress and how she wanted to express herself. And she stamped her feet when she knew that she had enough, or when something didn't feel good and, was a no for her. Where is she? Have you explored her? Is she being seen by you? Is she being heard through you? Maybe this little girl was never even allowed to be expressed. And so the idea of really seeing her just seems a little bit foreign to you. And through this, we forget what it is that we truly want, or we start to, or for most of our life, we may have based our worth based on how others view us, because we're not rooted into our own authenticity and our own truth. And maybe you have, over the years, you have felt shame for how you express yourself, how you express your body, how you express your voice. And through that, there's been a suppression of your full embodied presence and how you desire to be seen and loved. So often we wait for others to offer the stage to us to be seen and to be heard. And this is why we may rely on the likes from social media. We might feel down if someone unfollows us, or we even compare ourselves. We compare ourselves to that woman who's in a relationship, and then we start making excuses as to why we can't have that. We might put someone else on a pedestal, and we think they are more successful or more happy because they have more followers than you. So we base a lot of this worth on what is outside of ourselves, and we forget to hold ourselves in our own truth. The work of the feminine is an internal job. It's reconnecting with the gifts and these beautiful virtues and your internal world, everything that exists within. And then through that, we radiate our magnetism, we radiate beauty on the outside. So living the feminine way is about reconnecting with our true selves and finding our own unique path in this lifetime, and to realize your best version of you is already here. It doesn't exist outside of ourselves. It doesn't exist in trying to have more followers or more likes, or trying to be someone else. The best version of you, she's already here. She just needs to be remembered and connected with. So living the feminine way is about discovering a version of the feminine that transcends the traditional roles and expectations placed on us. So yes, it requires a lot of dismantling of the old way that keeps us small, that keeps us in hiding, that keeps us in comparison all the time. And then we feel we have to compete with other women to be seen. Or we may either put other women down and shame her for her own expression, for her truth that may trigger the parts of us that we haven't claimed yet. The old way was about not saying too much, not asking for what you want in relationships, and not showing any anger because we don't want to be that girl. The old feminine way is about being afraid and afraid of the dark emotions, being afraid of resting, being afraid, and in that fear, distracting yourself from the things that may trigger you. The old way is perfection. It's you having it all together all the time. And being, as I said, being there for everyone, feeling these roles, being the good mother all the time, the great friend all the time, the great daughter, the great wife, the great everything for everyone else but you. Everything to everyone, whether that is in business or whether that's in your relationship or in your family home. And in this process, losing yourself, repressing the parts of you who are, you're repressing these parts of you as a way to keep up this image of perfection, this image that others may have placed on us, this image that isn't ours. And we may even see a lot of this as well in social media with this word, the feminine, and how that can potentially even put us in a box, in a small box, if we're not using it in a way that is really serving our heart. I'm all about the new feminine way. This is what I preach, what I teach all about. And I'm inspiring you to also reclaim this aspect of you and not be afraid of what the feminine presents to you. And not the feminine way that creates this idea that we have to dress a certain way or act a certain way or taking on these behaviors to gain validation and love. That's the old feminine way. Embracing and embodying the feminine has nothing to do with taking on a way that continues to serve the roles and the beauty standards that make us feel less than, that make us feel hate and a distaste for this beautiful body that you've been given, that your soul lives through, and who flourishes through beautiful feminine ritual, beautiful feminine environments, and sensuality. Sensuality is key. The feminine in you, the feminine that you are, is dark. And we need to start embracing that and creating space for creating a relationship with the dark emotions, the fears, the anger, the rage, the hurt, the sadness, the pain, so that you can then shine the light on that from your heart to continue rising, to continue creating space for you to blossom. That's what the feminine is. It's an internal experience and it's lifelong. And through this self-awareness, you then begin to know what you need. You then know how to hold space for yourself. You learn to feel and become aware as the body, not as the mind, but as the feeling body, which has so much to say to you and so much wisdom there to offer you. And through this holding, through this embodied presence, we begin to listen. We listen to our intuition. We start to hear these subtle knowings of, okay, I know what I need to do next, or I know what I need right now from myself in order to feel soothed or to feel nourished. You start to know yourself deeply, and in that you own all the parts of you. And when you start to own all the parts of you, you stop striving for that perfection and then looking to the outside for validation. You start to reconnect with your authentic self. And through this acceptance and awareness and deep love, we start to live in truth. We start to make choices based on our desires and values, and no longer, as I said, feel the need to seek validation or approval from others. You start honoring your heart. And when you honor your heart, you honor your boundaries. And you stop trying to prove your worth by people pleasing and over explaining everything. And of course, with that, the new feminine way is about love. And I don't mean love in the sense of this romantic idea of love, this dreamlike idea of love, because love is also about you loving the dark parts of you, embracing all the aspects of you with deep love, compassion, and understanding. Embracing your flaws and imperfections and realizing that your own innate perfection is through your imperfections. And there's such a bittersweet sweetness in this deep awareness and holding and presence. The feminine way is about this fierce woman who knows her worth and protects her heart. She stands up for her heart and she walks with an open heart. You don't walk with with a closed heart, and then in this closed heart, we then prevent ourselves from receiving what is truly aligned. No, we walk with an open heart, all whilst knowing our boundaries and what it is we truly is right for us in a relationship. And in this way, you stop settling for less in relationships and settling for less in friendships and situations as well. And this new feminine way is a journey. It's a journey, a deep, lifelong journey into your deepest desires and highest potential. And with this is where we find greater fulfillment and purpose in our life. We no longer live someone else's version of success or happiness. We create our own definition. We create our own definition of success and happiness based on what's truly important to our heart. But we have to know how to drop down into the heart and live fully in this space. And we can do that through feminine practices, which I love teaching. Yeah, success is, so redefining this word success as well is, I think, part of the feminine way. Redefining success as this alignment with the heart. It's about knowing your body. The feminine way is about knowing your body, exploring your pleasures, and honoring your sexuality as sacred. Honoring your sensuality as the beautiful gateway into your pleasures, knowing your pleasures and knowing your truth. We did not come here to give this away or to block ourselves from this beautiful expression, this beautiful ability to feel into so many pleasures. I feel like this is such a waste if we don't. And we lose our power as well. We lose our power when we don't really tap into our pleasures and when we don't see our sexuality and sensuality as sacred. Embodying your feminine is embodying this passion for life, embracing your wild, free, passionate nature. And again, that comes to that little girl inside of you. This is you becoming more embodied in your feminine energy when you're able to tap into your creativity. And not just creative projects, like creativity in terms of creating the life that you decide. And we also get to tap into our sensuality and approach life from this place of gratitude and bliss and joy and curiosity and adventure. So yeah, are you living your life? Are you living a life that is aligned with that? And if not, that's okay. What brings you joy? What really brings that sense of satisfaction? to your heart, and it doesn't have to be anything complicated or big. What beliefs or expectations do you hold on to that are not serving your full, vibrant expression, that aren't serving your sensual expression? So it's your turn. It's your turn to become embodied in your femininity, in your sacred feminine self, in your sensuality, and let pleasure lead your life instead of feeling burnt out. The feminine does not blossom. She doesn't create. You don't tap into and hear your wisdom from that place of burnout, from that place of exhaustion, like you are taking care of everyone else but yourself. Again, this is about you embracing your wild, free, and sensual nature. And in this, you become more fully embodied in your feminine energy. And in that way, you feel more present. You become centered. You're able to tap into your desires that are aligned, not with, like I said, the expectations of others, but that are aligned with your heart, with your heart's joy. And you become better tuned into your sensuality. Your sensuality is there to heal. It's there to heal a lot of the parts of you that have been repressed. Because your sensuality allows you to touch the aspects of you that are ready to come to life. So the new feminine way is you becoming more of you each day. And in order to become more of you, you need to allow the opportunity to shed the layers, the limiting beliefs, and awaken your divine feminine power. Embracing your wild, free, passionate heart, unapologetically and truthfully you. It has nothing to do with, like I said, dressing a certain way, having the perfect body, taking on more to try and prove yourself, to try and prove your worth. This is about you starting to live from a place of authenticity, power, of you embracing your sensuality, blissfully merging with the divine. And we do this through feminine practices. And this is what I hold space for with women, practices to tune into your heart, practices to help you connect with your womb power, to connect with your yoni. And then in this way, we truly meet with the highest aspect of who we are, the version of you that exists right now. So you can start living your life with more passion, purpose, satisfaction, and start honoring that little girl inside of you who's ready to be awakened through you, through your mature, womanly body. That little girl who is the manifestation of your spirit. She's wanting to be seen and felt by you, by the woman that you are, who is strong, grounded, who can hold all of her messiness and her mistakes and her aliveness and her sexual expression. And when you hold this, this is where you start to really, feel into your truth, your authentic truth. And you do this for you, for your happiness. And remember, I have a beautiful 10-week program. It's a group immersion, feminine remembrance. Come home to yourself to do that exactly, to come home to you. I will leave you there. Thank you so much for watching. Please drop the love, and I hope you enjoyed this. My name is Jessica Angileri. All my love to you. Mwah.